Dear viewers, welcome to Tell It As It Is TV. We'll be bringing you ancient and modern true life stories with graphic images.
Please note that characters and some environs are fictional.
To better understand this story from the beginning, do well to visit our channel for catch-ups if you haven't seen the part 1 and 2. Now let's continue with the part 3. The days following Chidinma's sacrifice brought a cascade of emotions for Ebuka. Guilt, fear and confusion. Chidinma's parents were distraught over her sudden disappearance. They had immediately turned to Ebuka for answers. On the morning after her death, they showed up at his apartment, demanding to know where their daughter was. "Where is our daughter, Ebuka?" Chidinma's father thundered, his eyes blazing with suspicion. "I do not know her whereabouts, sir," Ebuka replied, feigning innocence. "After she left my house, I saw her off to Sixth Avenue. That was last time I saw her." His voice was shaky, but he clung to it, hoping the couple would leave. But they didn't. "Liar! My daughter didn't return home last night. She didn't even attend block rosary, as the brothers and sisters even came to the house to know why she never attended. We were even here last night, and everywhere was locked up. We have some explanations to give to the police," Chidinma's mother cried out as neighbors gathered. When their persistence questioning bore no fruit, Chidinma's parents went to the police, filing a missing person report and pointing accusing fingers to Ebuka. The police acted swiftly, arresting Ebuka as the last known person to have seen Chidinma. For 3 days, he languished in a dingy cell, tormented by guilt and paranoia. He replayed the events of the ritual over and over in his mind, haunted by Chidinma's screams and the lifeless look in her eyes. But then, Emeka stepped in, along with 2 other members of the occult. He visited the police station with a hefty bribe of 500,000 naira to the divisional police officer. They secured Ebuka's release without charges. The case was quietly shelved and swept under the carpet, and Chidinma's parents were left devastated, still without answers. After his release, Ebuka shut himself off from the world. He avoided his shop, friends and even Emeka, locked away in his small one-room in Creek Road at Fege. He was consumed by regret. He spent his days and nights crying, plagued by visions of Chidinma's face. He killed the love of his life with his own hands. His childhood sweetheart, his best friend, his better half, the girl of his dream was gone, and it was his fault. At 12 midnight on the 22nd day of December 1988, exactly 3 weeks after the ritual, everything changed. Ebuka was in a deep sleep when money began raining from his ceiling. The room filled with crisp naira notes, fluttering down like confetti. He remained oblivious, too lost in his slumber to notice. When he awoke at 6 a.m. and stood out of bed, he froze. The sight before him was surreal. Piles of money scattered across his room. Fear gripped him at first. Was this some sort of punishment? A trick? But soon, excitement overtook him. He had become a millionaire overnight. The guilt and sorrow were momentarily pushed aside as he counted the notes, each one a symbol of his newfound wealth. Within days, Ebuka's life transformed. He left his one-room apartment in Creek Road for a luxurious duplex in an upscale housing estate. He bought a sleek car, dressed in designer clothes, and began shopping extravagantly for Christmas. He had finally achieved his dream of wealth and status, even if it had come to an unimaginable cost. Ebuka's arrival in his hometown at Christmas was nothing short of a spectacle. Driving his brand new car, he threw money around like confetti, gifting relatives and villagers with cash and presents. He was the envy of everyone, his newfound wealth, the talk of the town. Over the next 5 years, Ebuka's empire grew. By the time he turned 30, he was a business mogul, owning multiple properties, investments, and businesses. He traveled internationally for deals and vacations, living a life most could only dream of. Yet, something was missing. Despite his success, Ebuka remained unmarried. In some African countries, mostly in West Africa to be precise, marriage was a marker of true adulthood and respectability, especially for a man of his status. It was time to settle down. Ebuka faced his traditional wedding on the 9th day of April 1993. The village buzzed with excitement as the ceremony blended traditional costume with grandeur befitting a man of his status. The bride, a stunning young woman, was the picture of grace and beauty. The traditional wine carrying ceremony began, a pivotal part of Igbo culture. The bride carried a cup of palm wine, searching through the crowd for her husband-to-be. When she found him, she knelt down, had a sip of the drink, and offered Ebuka the cup, signifying her acceptance of him as her husband. Ebuka lifted his head high, huffed his shoulder among the crowd, smiling confidently, basking in his moments. But as his bride approached, something unthinkable happened. Suddenly, the air grew cold. A ghost figure materialized behind the bride, Chidinma. Her face was pale but fierce, her eyes burning with an otherworldly fire. Before Ebuka could react, the fiery gaze from Chidinma's ghost shot straight into Ebuka's eyes. He let out a blood-curdling scream and collapsed to the ground, clutching his chest. Pandemonium erupted as guests screamed and scattered. The bride dropped the cup, trembling in terror as the ghost of Chidinma disappeared into thin air. Ebuka lay motionless, his lifeless eyes staring at the sky. The price of his world had come full circle.
Vanity of vanities, says the preacher. Vanity of vanities. All is vanity, says Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 2. While Book of Mark chapter 8 verse 36 says, "For what shall it profit a man if he gains the whole world, and loses his soul?" Please subscribe, comment, like and share. Do stay tuned for part 4.